we are going to talk about menopause changes, how it changes our metabolism, and the things that we can do to optimize our metabolism and get it working again. Okay. So these things are very, very important. And how many of you ladies have tried to lose weight before coming on with me and just found it since menopause or perimenopause, something that was very hard to do? Any of you raise those hands up? Yes, me too. I couldn't figure it out. Now, I won't tell you that it becomes easier, at least we have the knowledge so we know what to do. I was so confused. I thought, oh my God, I need to eat low carb. I need to do intermittent fasting. My calories, what should they be? Oh my gosh, I have no idea what they should be. And I was just so confused. Should I do paleo? Should I be vegetarian? Oh God, help me, because I don't like vegetables very much. And all these things. I mean, I tried so many different things, and I could not figure out why I was not losing weight. I went to the gym like a maniac. I know Tony has that same thing. She says she worked out and worked out and worked out and didn't see too many changes. Now, Tony is much younger than me. She just turned 40 the other day, the day after my birthday. I turned 56, and the next day she turned 40. So, so she's got a big different age difference. But I'm so glad, Tony, that you came on now. So these are things that you can understand, that when you go into perimenopause, like most of us do around 45, that it isn't, you're not out of shape, or you don't know how to deal with this thing. Okay. So
Exactly. Yes. Yes. I'm happy to be learning about all of it early. Because I've had a lot of hormone issues anyway,
uh,
since having my kids into my late 30s. So yeah, I think it's a wonderful thing. Thank you.
I do too. I think it's going to be really, really helpful for you. And I wish I would have had this knowledge. Like I said, I spent so much time and so much money, and I just failed again and again and again. And finally, I just gave up. I was just like, I am so done. This must be how it is as you age. I just kept getting bigger around my middle. I was barely eating, in my opinion, I was barely eating anything. Um, I really wasn't. I had basically at times just starved myself to try to lose weight. And it just became this roller coaster of awful. Like, it was awful. And not only that, I felt bad all the time and I couldn't figure it out. So I gave up. And then I decided that my marriage was not working. Well, I knew it hadn't been working for many, many years, almost married, almost 31 years. And when I got out of that relationship, I decided to change my whole entire life. And so I started to really seek on, how can I change my body? There's got to be a way. And the reason I got hope is because I started seeing people that were really in great shape competing. I met Wade, and he was getting in the best shape of his life. That was inspiring, right? But also I felt like I didn't want to come into the relationship just feeling like I'm just failing. And I wanted to fight for myself in so many ways. And so what I did was I went to him with his first competition. He was age 51, and it was the first physique composition or competition I've ever been to. And I watched some of the ladies, and the first one he'd ever been to too. And I watched some of the ladies, and there was a lady, she was about 70 years old, 65 or 70. It's been a few years now, but she was on stage in a bikini, and she made me look, I mean, like, it was awful. And I had been working so hard for it. And I thought, is this genetic? Can this be genetics? And then I started learning from Wade and from different people in the competition kind of area about what your diet should look like. And these women's bodies were just transforming. And so that's where a lot of my knowledge comes from. Although I don't work with women that compete, some of the best bodies in the world are people who go by the diets that I tell you ladies and that I go by. But it requires consistency. And Bianna and I and Michelle all talked about this today. It's not easy, is it, Bianna? No. but it will work if you can keep your head in the game. So what we're talking about, it isn't easy. It isn't, but neither is staying where you and I were or are. It's not. That's not easy either, right? And so we have to pick our hard. Have you heard that before? Choose your hard. Choose your hard. And I chose mine, and mine was to change my life. Now it's easy for me. I want you to have hope to know that it will become easier as you build out the habits. But whenever you go to do anything that is new to you, get a new job, have a new baby, get a new marriage. A new marriage is wonderful in the beginning usually, but it gets crazy, right? Your life can get crazy with these new things that you're building, new jobs, stress. Like, oh my gosh, just remember the first time you drove a car. The first time I drove a car, even though I was young and I was so excited to do it, it was just stressful. Getting out and taking my driver's test, I'll never forget it. I was sweating bullets. Like, oh my gosh, the guy was sitting beside me and I had to drive with somebody that wasn't my dad, and it freaked me out. So there's always a learning curve to everything. And there's some hards that are harder than others. And for some people, for some women, getting in shape is harder than it is for other women. It's not straight across the board. But I will tell you this, staying where you are in your life where you're not happy is also a hard. So you have to choose which hard you're going to take. And for me, I chose to take the path forward that I remember sitting on my bed thinking I could live this lifestyle and feel like this and have a relationship like this even in a nursing home. I felt achy every day, tired, exhausted, unhappy with my body, sad. My emotions were all over the place. I was depressed. And it was just like everything in my life was failing along with I felt like my health was failing. And I was only 45 when it started. And so, ladies, I made a decision to move forward. So I'm going to tell you this, it's not easy. It's not. I promise you it's not. For some, it's easier than others. But I will tell you this, it is worth it. It is so worth it to build the disciplines into your life, because it won't just change your body. It changes the way you feel about yourself. It changes your confidence. And when your confidence is hit, it hits you in every area of your life. I never thought about that before, but when my confidence was really, really in the lows, everything I did, it was hard for me. Walking into a room for a meeting was hard for me. I was in music, so going into meetings wearing 3 sets of Spanx under my clothing was hard for me. Going into major meetings, that was hard for me. But just walking into a restaurant with people I didn't know looking at me was hard for me. Fixing my shirt, all the stuff, hiding in pictures, not knowing what clothes to even buy because I felt like nothing looked right on me. And imagine this, and this is a true story. July, Ohio gets really hot in July and August. It was the end of July. And I'm on stage. The sun is not down yet. We're the big act. We got an hour and a half performance ahead of us. It's outside. The guy running the sound decides to turn the stage lights on. The sun is still going down. The roof of the stage is not covering this, the sun because it's coming down. So we've got the stage lights on. We've got the sun on us, and it's July, and I have 3 sets of Spanx under my clothing, and I'm pouring the sweat. And in song 1, I thought I was going to faint, and I knew I had an hour and 15 minutes minimum ahead of me. You want to talk about hard? Well, changing my food was much easier. That was hard. That was real hard. So, ladies, why does our metabolism change during menopause? There's lots of reasons for it, and I want you to understand what these are. One of them is the chronic dieting that us ladies tend to do. Because when we go on these crash diets or decide we aren't eating because we're trying to lose weight and our calories are 800 or 1,000 calories, what happens is we lose muscle mass. And we continue, and as we age, we're losing muscle mass. So when we lose muscle mass, it increases when we go on crash diets, low calories without watching our protein and without monitoring our workouts and making sure we're lifting weights to tell our body, don't let go of this muscle. And when it lets go of that muscle, when you're losing weight and you're like, oh yeah, I lost a pound today. I lost 10 pounds this week. Some of it might be water weight, but I remember searching the internet to lose 30 pounds in 30 days. Like I was just wanting to lose 30 pounds in 30 days. I wanted it to be over, but I didn't know it would cost me. And the weight that I did lose was not 30 pounds in 30 days, but the weight that I did lose came back so fast because I took it off and took muscle off with it. So part of our metabolic reasons that we're having not being able to lose weight is because we've been on crash diets. Another one is we're aging and we're not eating our protein. We're not eating enough protein, and just normal aging. Sarcopenia is a thing. It's muscle loss. And as we age, we lose muscle. So you got to make sure that you're feeding your body correctly, right? You got to make sure that you are counteracting muscle loss. And what does that look like? It looks like getting your protein in. If your goal weight is 150 pounds, then your protein intake should be around 150 grams a day. To many of us, that seems a lot. And to me in the beginning, it was like, oh my gosh, I could never eat 150 grams of protein in a day. I had trouble eating 100 grams of protein in a day. But I walked it up slowly. I'll tell you, if you decide tomorrow to eat 150 grams, you are going to get a tummy ache and gas and have all the stuff. You won't be able to go number 2. Don't try it, right? But what happens is, as we age, have you ever noticed that most people, as we age, we kind of tend to eat less and less protein? That's a bad thing. Because we're aging and we're eating less protein and we're not lifting as heavy weights or moving around as much. And it makes our muscle loss just accelerate. And it makes our metabolism slow down because we're losing that muscle. And what happens is we could be eating the same amount of calories and just like we always have, and our body isn't burning as many calories because we have less muscle mass. So what happens is it stores fat. And that's why we start getting this like, what's going on here? That's one of the reasons why. Another reason is decrease in our estrogen levels. Okay, so when our estrogen drops, our body wants to store fat like there's no tomorrow around our belly, our back, and our thighs, and some of us in our butt. Now, my butt didn't get bigger in a better way. It just got wider and flatter. It didn't it just got wide and stayed flat like a pancake. It was an awful look. Some of y'all got good butts. I did not have that. So that's how my body put on fat, right? And so that was not good. So the estrogen plays a big part in regulating our body weight. Okay, and we're going to talk more about that in just a minute. Changes in energy expenditure. Most of us don't move around like we used to. That's why when you come on, I focus on your steps. How many steps a day are you getting? And most of us are sitting at desks and, we're just sitting at desk most of the day. And we're like, I don't move a lot really. Well, when we were younger, we just moved around. Have you ever watched kids? Don't sit on the chair. Their feet are going like this. Their hands are going like this. They're always burning calories. But if you look at me as I age, I'm sitting more still and more still. All of my work is on a computer, most of it anyway. And I'm just sitting there and the only thing moving is my fingers and thumbs. That's it. So get moving. Insulin resistance, that is another one. That is a hormonal one. Okay, insulin resistance, a lot of women develop that when you start to go into menopause. One way, it's very hard to get it diagnosed, but it makes it very hard to to lose weight. And if you have a very big middle and that weight just seems like it does not want to move, insulin resistance is a big deal. And you can try to lose weight and try to lose weight, but there's things that you have to do. And I'm going to talk about that in a minute to change that. One person that I would say probably, I have lots of clients on here, but one that has been dealing with it. And I really believe, Viana, I really believe that's what you have. And it's Viana is working her rear end off to lose this weight. And it's been very hard for her. But insulin resistance is something that she is breaking. If your A1C is high, if you're holding a lot of weight around the middle, there's lots of traits for this. You know, if you even have high cholesterol, the things that you want to do for that are high protein, strength training, HIIT training, and keeping your fiber up and your sugars down. And Viana and I started working on that because she had a regular program in the beginning, and we really started focusing on that. And I'm going to tell you, Viana's changes every time. I get dumbfounded. Like, she sent me her pictures last time, and I was like blown away because her body is transforming in front of my eyeballs. It's amazing to see. But I'm going to tell you, she's consistent. And Viana, you and I talked about that today. And tell them what you told me about consistency, if you would.
Because it's boring.
Yeah.
It's boring. It's not exciting. It's hard, but yeah, I mean, we've worked a lot together and fine-tuned a lot of things, and we're still working on things, but you just have to be consistent. And there's so many elements to this program, and I really hit the gym running really hard with it the first 3 months, and we saw some changes, but I was really resistant to tracking my food. And I finally said, okay, I'm going to track everything that goes in my mouth. And we started doing that. We started fine tuning the fiber and the sugars and a little bit more of the workouts. And that's when we saw some really big results.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's amazing to see. And I love what you told me today. And I hope this is okay that I'm sharing this, but she said I decided that I was going to, you know, put everything in the app that I ate, everything. I was going to track it all. And when she did, you know, that really changed her life. It's changing her body. And I'm just so proud of you, Viana. It just blows my mind. She is a hard worker, and she's fighting for her best self. And I love to see a woman just take a hold of the steering wheel of their life and just go for it. It's so inspiring to me.
Well, thank you.
I'm proud of you, girl.
And I think the biggest thing I could say to you guys too is that if you're not seeing the results and whatnot, I know that track app, I'm really stubborn and I have a short attention span, but again, my diet's pretty boring. So I know now what I need to, you know, eat on a daily basis. But if you don't put it in there, she can't see it and she can't help you. That's the biggest thing. She cannot guide you if she doesn't see what you're doing. And even there's times where I go over my calories and it's like, okay, I got to dial that in. Right.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
that was the biggest thing. She's like, I cannot help you. And that's why you guys are paying her. So lean into it.
Exactly. So good. So good. So how do we optimize our metabolism? Number one will be strength training. And the reason why strength training, getting stronger, is important is because it rebuilds our muscle. And when we rebuild our muscle, here's how I need to put that. The less muscle we have, the slower we burn calories, the less calories we burn. The more muscle we have, the more calories we burn. So these great big muscle bound guys, they can eat 3, 4, 5, 6, 7,000 calories in a day. No joke. And they can burn that off because their metabolic rate, their metabolism is just on fire because of all this muscle they have. So number one is going to be strength training. Ladies, strength training is not lifting 5 pounds. In the beginning, it might be, but strength training means I'm getting stronger. Okay, it means getting stronger. So you have to keep getting stronger to build muscle. If you do the same thing over and over again, it's not going to work. What challenged you in the beginning is, if it's no longer challenging you, it's no longer changing you. You have to get stronger to build that muscle back. Okay, so focus on that. Stay active. Cardiovascular exercise, walking, swimming, jogging, moving, putting a desk, one of those treadmills under your desk, whatever it takes. Because here's the thing, this doesn't just help us lose the weight, it helps keep us active. Inactivity decreases, just not moving, just not walking, they said takes 15 years off of our lives. Just being an inactive person. So you want to make sure that you're being active. If you got to go buy a desk, a walking desk, go buy one. It's important just for your health. Okay. So that is another way to help your metabolism stay active. And eat the protein-rich foods. Focus on protein at every meal, at every snack first. Get the protein in first. What that's going to do is it's going to help rebuild your muscle. Number one. Number two, it's going to help fill you up so you have less room for the other stuff. It's going to keep you more full throughout the day. All right. And you'll feel less snacky. Your blood sugar levels aren't going like this. Get the protein in. It's so important. Like I said, don't jump it up real fast. Walk it up. All right. Stay hydrated. So many of us, including me, have a problem with this. You have to get your water in. You have to do it. Stay hydrated. Your water can, drinking water can actually temporarily even boost your metabolism. So just drink it. It's important. Eat small, frequent meals. This is another thing. We hear women say, well, you just need to not eat for a 12-hour window, or some of them a 16-hour window. And I had one lady that didn't even eat for a 20-hour window. She was eating all her calories in 4 hours. I just don't know why I can't lose the weight. Well, because your body is in this, I call it starvation mode. It's not a real thing, but you can understand it this way. When you're in starvation mode and are hardly eating anything, you are losing muscle and your metabolism is slowing down, and your body will store fat on purpose. And here's why. Because as humans, there's been times of famine and our bodies had to adapt and survive it. And so what our bodies learned to do was, when there's not enough food, it consumed our muscle as fuel for energy. So it could do two things. So it could have fuel, and so another thing, so it could slow our metabolism down. So we burn less calories at rest, and we burn less calories when we're moving around. And so when you're only eating and you're intermittent fasting for 20 hours a day or 18 hours a day, you're telling your body, and then you're barely giving it any protein when you do eat. You're telling your body, I'm in a famine. I got to survive this. And so it does what it has to do to help you survive. Eat your food, ladies. Don't be afraid of food. Eat your food. Did you know that just like your metabolism does when you don't eat calories, it slows down? Did you know that if you jumped your calories up to 2,000 tomorrow, chances are you're going to gain weight really fast? But did you know this? That if you walk those calories up about 50 to 100 every single day and let your body acclimate to those calories, if it gained a little weight, just stay right there. And then as soon as it stabilized, you put 50 to 100 more calories every day. Did you know that you can raise your calories up and not gain weight? I had a little 5'3", 61-year-old woman eating 1,850 calories, and she weighed 115 pounds, and she could not keep her weight on. This is after she was on 1,000 calories trying to lose weight and couldn't hardly lose a pound. So your metabolism can increase just like it can decrease. So you just got to have that knowledge. All right. Eat small, frequent meals. Quit going without food for long periods of time. Your body needs the protein. It needs the support, even when you're dieting. It's really important. Here's a big one. Manage your stress. Believe it or not, this helps your metabolism. Manage your stress. Some of us are going through some major things, changes in our lives. Stress. Try to manage your stress. Find ways to take care of yourself. Go off and have your nails done. Go off and get a pedicure. Go off and get a massage. Go get your hair done. Go out to a meal. Enjoy it with friends. Take your mind off the stress for a minute. It's not only going to help your body and your metabolism, it's going to help you mentally. Stay in the right place, keep your mind straight, and survive some crazy rough times. So manage your stress. Here's a big one. It also helps metabolism. No wonder my metabolism was out of whack. Get enough sleep. I couldn't sleep to save my life. I was up every 2 or 3 hours. So get enough sleep. Turn your phone off at least an hour before bed. Turn your TV off. Go soak in the tub. Read a book. Light a candle. Slow down. Take care of you. Prioritize you for a minute. That's hard to do, isn't it? But you know we need to. You know we need to. None of us do it very good. But I am challenging you to love you a little bit better. And here's the thing. You think, well, I can't. I got to take care of so-and-so, and I got to do this, and I got to do that. That can wait a minute. Because when you don't take care of you and love on you like you need to, you don't give your best version of everybody to everybody else. You just don't. I took everybody's head off every day. I was grouchy, tired, didn't feel good, not sleeping, not taking care of myself. And here's another thing I want you to think about. Be a great example to your family and to your kids and to your grandkids. If you love on yourself, they know it's okay to love on themselves and to take care of their bodies and to take care of their health and to find their peace is a good thing. I want my kids to find peace and enjoy themselves and take a load off and go have some fun every now and then. And guess what? You got to do it too. You got to live it in front of them. What you want them to have, you got to live it out. Limit your sugars and refined carbs. So true. If you're going to get carbs, get them from things like sweet potatoes. I know that sounds really boring, but cut the sugar out. That's what we did in most of your diets. We're looking at your sugars going, bring them down to 25. It helps your metabolism. It helps your hormones. It helps you lose belly fat. It helps you, stabilize. It helps stabilize those hormones. We need that. That's all I've got. But that's what I preach to you every day. And it feels like all of it is a big mystery still. Like, what is going on with my body? I know Allie told me to eat more protein. I know Allie told me to watch my sugar. I know Allie has told me to watch my fat intake. It's a lot to do. I have to relearn how to eat. This is no fun. It's not in the beginning. But once you see those changes, ladies, I promise you. And once you get to your goal, I promise you, that hard is a lot easier to live with than the hard of looking in the mirror and feeling bad about yourself or hiding or just feeling like crap every day. So fight for you. It's the same old thing over and over again. It's not a mystery. It's eat the protein, get the movement in, drink the water, Get your fiber because it's healthy. Real fiber. Just take care of you. De-stress, sleep, drink your water. Same old thing over and over again. But you can do it. All right, you got it. Anybody have anything they want to say before we go?
Just that you're so awesome, Allie. Thank you.
You're sweet. Thank you so much. I love what I do, you guys. I love you ladies. And I just want to see, I don't know why it is in me, but I really want to see, I just see this in my heart. And I know it sounds crazy, but this is my vision. So I want to share it with you. I see a stadium of women just over the age of 40, just empowered and just loving each other and supporting each other. And it's like a roar in there. That's what I see. That's what in my heart, I want to see women our age rise up and just, we have so much wisdom. We have so much strength. We have so much knowledge that we could give and share to this world. And as we age, we want to hide and we want to think we're no longer credible and we don't have much value. And all these things are untrue. We have so much to offer. You have so much to offer. And that's why I do what I do. I didn't believe in myself at all. And I want you to start believing in you again. All right, ladies, I'm out of here. Have a great night.
Bye.
Bye.